prophets are 450 men. Therefore, let them give us 2 bulls, and let them choose 1 bull for themselves, cut it in pieces, and lay it on the wood, but put no fire under it. And I will prepare the other bull, and lay it on the wood, but put no fire under it. Then you call on the name of your gods, and I will call on the name of the Lord, and the God who answers by fire, he is God. So all the people answered and said, it is well spoken. Verse 37 says, Hear me, O Israel. Hear me, O Lord. I'm sorry. Hear me, O Lord. Hear me, that this people may know that you are the Lord God, and that you have turned their hearts back to you again. Then the fire of the Lord fell and consumed the burnt sacrifice, and the wood, and the stones, and the dust, and it licked up the water that was in the trench. Now, when all the people saw it, they fell on their faces, and they said, The Lord, He is God. The Lord, He is God. And Elijah said to them, Seize the prophets of Baal. Do not let one of them escape. So they seized them, and Elijah brought them down to the brook Kishon and executed them there. Chapter 19, verse 2 to 4 says, Then Jezebel sent a messenger to Elijah, saying, So let the gods do to me, and more also, if I do not make your life as the life of one of them by tomorrow about this time. And when he saw that, he arose and ran for his life, and went to Beersheba, which belongs to Judah, and left his servant there. But he himself went a day's journey into the wilderness, and came and sat under a broom tree. And he prayed that he might die, and said, It is enough. Now, Lord, take my life, for I am no better than my father's. And then 2 Kings chapter 2, verse 11 says, Then it happened, as they continued on and talked, that suddenly a chariot of fire appeared with horses of fire, and separated the 2 of them. And Elijah went up by a whirlwind into heaven. I've been reading the book of Kings, and when Chuck told me that it was my turn to give a thought today, I started asking the Lord, what is it that you want me to talk about? What is it that you want me to talk about? And for some reason, this story just caught my attention. And the Lord said, that's what I want you to speak about. And I said, okay, Lord, what is it? So he said, this is what you shall title it. He said, and Elijah said. And he said, and Elijah said to you, as Elijah will say to the church, how long will you waver between 2 opinions? And I said, what 2 opinions, Lord? And he said, because you either follow me or you follow the world. He said in James 4:4, he told us, you adulterous people, don't you know that friendship with the world means enmity against God? Therefore, anyone who chooses to be friends of the world becomes an enemy of God. And the Lord said to me, the end days are coming. Right. You have to make a choice. You have to choose to follow me or follow the things of the world. And he said, just like in Elijah, he gave a test. He said, a test from fire from heaven as a sign that that is the true God. Right. And he said back then in Elijah's time, I rained fire from heaven and I could consume that sacrifice that he had. But he said in today's world, in today's time, I have done something even better. In Acts 2:1-4, he says, when the day of Pentecost came and they were all together in one place, suddenly a sound like a blowing of a violent wind came from heaven and filled the whole house where they were sitting. They saw what seemed to be tongues of fire that separated and came to rest upon each of them. All of them were filled with the Holy Spirit and began to speak in other tongues as the Spirit enabled them to do so. And he said, that is the fire. That is the sign. And he says, it is time for you to make a choice. He said, if you do not take this sign, and if this is not enough, I don't know what else to do. But he said, there is hope. There is hope for those of you that love me and that will turn to me and that have taken this sign as a fire as in Elijah's time.
Praise God. Praise God. Bless the Lord.
He said, knowing this, that our old man was crucified with him, that the body of sin might be done away with, that we should no longer be slaves of sin.
Amen.
Just like Elijah, after the fire came down, he told everybody, gather all of them, gather all the prophets of Baal. And he says, you have to kill them. So the Lord revealed to me, and he says, just like that, after you receive the Spirit of God, after you receive that power, you have to get rid of those things that are in your life that are keeping you. Things that take away your time, your attention, that lead you away from me. You have to kill those so that you are able to come and follow me.
Praise God.
But he says, the way of the Lord is not easy. Even the Lord said so. He said he didn't come to give peace. He came to give a sword. He said, just like Jezebel was after Elijah to kill him, so is Satan after your lives. As he warns in 1 Peter 5:8, he says, and be alert and be of sober mind. Your enemy, the devil, prowls around like a roaring lion looking for someone to devour. So he's going to bring things into your life. He's going to bring problems against you, problems against your family, problems against your job, problems against your friends, even people in the church. He's going to try to make anything that he can because he knows that his days are numbered. He's going to bring diseases. He's going to bring doubt. He's going to bring temptation. He's going to bring all those things. But you have to hold on to that fire that he desires. But he says, do not go back to the way you were before his presence came into your life. Do not do that. Because those that are able to put things aside, God will be with you. He says in Acts 18:9 and 10, he says, do not be afraid, but you should be able to speak. And do not keep silent, for I am with you, and no one will attack you to hurt you. For I have many people in this city. And then in Romans 8:37, he says, yet in all these things we are more than conquerors through him who loved us. But then the best part is when Elijah was walking with Elijah, and suddenly a chariot of fire and horses appeared and separated them and took Elijah up to heaven. So he says, that day is yet to come. There is a reward for those of you that still follow me, that will kill the Baals in your life. For those of you that will continue to follow me and give me your life, your time, your attention. He says one day in Matthew 24:40-41, he says 2 men will be in the field. One will be taken and the other one left behind. 2 women will be grinding with a handmill and one will be taken and the other left behind. And then in 1 Thessalonians 4:17, he says, and after that, we who are still alive and are left will be caught up together with them in the clouds to meet the Lord in the air. And so we will be with the Lord forever. So the question that he says, Matthew 16:26, he says, what good will it be for someone to gain the whole world, yet forfeit their soul? Or what can anyone give in exchange for their souls? And then Matthew 8:21 says, not everyone who says to me, Lord, Lord, shall enter the kingdom of heaven, but he who does the will of my Father in heaven. So he left me with a question, and he said, what is your vow, and who will you choose?
Amen.
And I give you that question.
Praise the Lord.